Harry and Meghan are Hollywood's most hated list. Hypocrite rogue royals earn sneers and snubs as they sink to the D-list. Renegade Prince Harry and his diva wife Meghan are being shunned by Hollywood A-listers, turning their California dream into a nightmare, insiders say. Just a year after the rogue royals moved into their $14 million mansions in celebrity-heavy Montecito, they've already worn out their welcome, dishes Tinseltown insiders. They've gone from must-see novelties to must-be-avoided egomaniacs, sneers an entertainment industry bigwig. The excitement of rubbing elbows with royalty has long evaporated for a who's who of stars. Harry and Meghan have been throwing their weight around like they're the king and queen of Hollywood, using their royal status to pursue and get mega deal after mega deal. And that's left a bad taste in the mouth of stars who worked their whole lives to get to the top. The couple's arrogance and entitlement has turned off the celebrity elite and landed them on Hollywood's most hated list. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, parents to Archie and Lilibet, are facing the bitter backlash after cruel bombshell attacks on the royal family. Their money-hungry hypocrisy and their smug, holier-than-thou attitudes, say sources. People are sick of them constantly painting themselves as victims, dishes another insider. Fed-up celebs are closing ranks and snubbing them. They've had a few social invites from A-listers like Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, but have been left off the list of high-powered dinner parties and gatherings, most recently former President Barack Obama's 60th birthday extravaganza. America's former commander-in-chief cold-shouldered the Sussexes, even though he and Meghan shared the same August 4th birth date. Meghan was devastated, says another source. She desperately wanted and expected to be the special guest at the party. But she shouldn't be shocked at being snubbed, says insiders. Harry had a special relationship with the Obamas, but it was fractured in recent months by Meghan publicly attacking the royal family as uncaring racists who refused to help her when she was suicidal. Then she blatantly copied the Obamas' post-presidency blueprint to chase fat paydays after she and Harry quit royal duties. That includes signing a mega-million-dollar production deal with Netflix like the Obamas, and Harry inking a $40 million four-book deal with their publishers. The Obamas always regarded Harry highly, but like so many Hollywood celebrities now, they can see through Meghan. Being shunned by an ex-president is public humiliation at the highest level for Meghan and Harry, adds another source. Now everyone knows they're not in the power seat, no matter how much they pretend to be. But I have to wonder why any public figure would want to associate themselves with someone like power-hungry Meghan, who tosses lawsuits around like confetti and drops her friends and associates when they're no longer of use to her. And who wants to risk finding their name splashed in the pages of Harry's upcoming autobiography? The feeling in Hollywood is, keep your distance. Let's face it, it's been all about what the stars can do for the talentless, overpaid Sussexes, not what the royals can do for them. Now they're feeling the burn and have sunk to the social D-list. Also related to a president, but here is Joe Biden. While a lot appears to have gone tits up for Biden and Kamala Harris, the Duchess of Hypocrisy has continued to release her pain and heartbreak at the situation without mentioning at all her support for Biden, but emphasizing that her very important self was her perceived weight that got the Democrats elected. Delusional? Yes, of course, but show me an egomaniac that isn't. When did Markle last admit a mistake, show contrition, or embarrassed at her naked greed? Does anyone recall her apologizing for anything in her life? Is there a soul living that can show any evidence that Markle's world consists of anything more than delusional ambition, a raging sense of self-importance, and a firm believer that she alone is right? This is, after all, a woman who sold out, ghosted, shit on, and abused probably as many people as those who stand in line in Kabul attempting to leave. I have no doubt she hasn't lost a moment's sleep over the human cost of this catastrophe, other than the time spent crafting that many layers of pain bandwagoning speech for the Archie well-off scam site. On account of the fact that she threw a few crumbs of support out of the side of her mouth for Biden and therefore the Democratic Party at election time, thus gaining her the airtime to throw her tiara into the ring as a credible affiliate of the Democratic Party and Duchess of Sussex, and somehow therefore a credible potential political horse. So yes, I have no doubt she's beyond thrilled on a personal level at how things are panning out for the current incumbent. Meghan sucks as a human being. She sucked for a living, I've seen the movie, and she will suck as a POTUS. We live in the UK, had the full blast of the machinations of this social climber once she married into a guaranteed publicity machine. The U.S. had managed to ignore her as an actress and pseudo-philanthropist up until then, but she's back on U.S. soil and even more out of control than she was in the U.K. The only people that can possibly bury over the reaching of this woke Stalin with tits are those able to vote in the American voting system. I leave it in your capable hands. I think she has a few issues. Delusions of grandeur for a start. Obviously, most people are bored to death by now of her stupid ploys to get media attention. Totally boring woman. As far as the pregnancy goes, I come from a huge family and have seen pregnant females around the family all my life. Never saw any of them constantly holding their stomach like Meghan Markle. And the very few photos she did show of Archie, one I recall at a polo match with the family, the way she was holding that child proves she does not have a clue. As for the 40th birthday, don't go there. How pathetic a woman surrounded by no friends, let alone A-listers, and a husband trying to do a juggling act outside the window. These people are trying to defame the British monarchy. Please, I think Markle seriously needs help. Not money or fame, probably something in the medical field called psychiatric assistance. She comes from a background of self first, others last. Let's take a look at the previous generation, such as her parents. It is my conclusion only, and I'm sure that others might disagree. Her dad thinks of himself first, cries on cue, wants pity, insists he is right, and hates his daughter. He's been on hardcore street drugs, unsure now if he uses alcohol. He's immature, alone without friends, has no significant other, and lies. One does not advance in Hollywood just by being nice. Her dad was no exception. He was part of the Hollywood crowd who used people, partied, discarded friends, accumulated friends, and was selfish. He provided an income but neglected his daughter. Who on earth would even allow a daughter on the set of Married with Children? He should have made it different arrangements, not depended on his co-workers to babysit her. He never accepted the divorce. He used his money to pay for companionship by throwing away sums on his youngest daughter and ex-wife. He was jealous of his daughter's good fortunes and wanted money too. There was no love in his demands, but rage. Her mother, on the other hand, had been in prison for fraud, had been questioned for a murder of a parent, inherited everything, but her other sibling was left out in the cold. She presented with an angelic mask out in public, but looking into her focused, unblinking, and dark-colored eyes, it was anything but kind, compassionate, or loving. Prison also reinforced this mask. She instructed her daughter to never give anything away for free because everything had a price. She, too, was jealous of her daughter. Due to her background, she's an unstable and not mature individual. Just by listening to what she said and observing her behaviors, they are quite inconsistent. She has a lot of her parents' behaviors. She has an entitlement approach to the world. She lives an unrealistic life. She believes that she is her mother-in-law. She had some challenges, at least emotionally, and it was there from the beginning, reinforced growing up and cemented into her life now. In my viewpoint, healthy people have predictable behaviors. Other people, like Harry's wife, do not. Therefore, she has a mental illness like the rest of us.